Welcome to Vegas Realty Check. We are doing our show this week on Housing Mythbusters. This is where the rumors get wrecked and the truth takes over. We're going to be debunking a bunch of stuff in real estate and letting you know the real deal about what's going on with a lot of things in real estate and lending. So thank you for tuning into the show and stay tuned for the rest. Welcome back, Vegas. Courtney, welcome back.
Yes,
You've been gone for a while.
I know. I took a little vacation and now I'm back.
All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
So we have some market numbers to get into, some rate, some loan program stuff to get into. So let's dive right in. Our market is we're getting some more inventory. We're spiking a bit, filling it out there as we are moving about our business. So single family homes on the market this week are up 82 at 62.69. Condo and townhouses are only up 2, but those are at 24.40, putting us at a total inventory on the market around almost 9,000 now. About 6,500, 9,000. So it's pretty substantial inventory.
So we're starting to look at the market kind of shifting a tad, yeah?
We're shifting, for sure.
Absolutely.
We're definitely in a shift. New listings, those are still quite higher than the under contracts. New listings this week are at 1120, under contracts at 752. Whenever we see that under contract number lower than new listings, we know that we're not selling as much as we're listing, which is not the best environment for sales, for inventory, for supply and demand. I mean, we are definitely, if you're out there shopping for homes, this is the time to start negotiating.
Absolutely, and we are seeing price decreases as well. Not a huge amount from last week, 10 less than last week, but we're at 1,110. So I definitely think it's becoming where more homes are coming on the market and people are really looking to get their home sold.
And just to give some perspective, in really strong markets, those price decreases will be under 100 often.
Wow.
So we're up pretty substantially on price decreases. However, all that being said, our solds are still looking pretty solid. Those are at 660. We have an influx of inventory right now, but the sold numbers are still staying right the same as when the inventory was a bit lower. So that is the silver lining of everything. We're not really getting a hit in our solds.
Are you seeing a lot of people that are purchasing or selling? Is it to move into a primary? Are you seeing a lot of people buying investment properties? What are you seeing?
All of the purchasers I've been working with lately have been purchasing as primary.
Gotcha.
So not a lot of investment. We're still getting a lot of those Californians coming out.
Absolutely.
And also, as far as like inventory goes, I was thinking about this recently. The builders have built so many new homes over the last couple of years, so I'm sure they're taking a big chunk of that inventory too. Because when you look up new homes 100%. On the MLS, like built this year, there's a long list. So a lot of that inventory is the builders that built everything and they have it ready. Now they're throwing it on the MLS to find buyers too to get more exposure. So keep that factor in consideration. It really is a factor right now.
And new home builds have been just going crazy here. And you know, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of people into those new home builds. And that's something as a lender that, you know, we're always kind of looking at it with new home builds and what they're offering versus what we can offer. And it's definitely that kind of market, especially here in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so speaking of that, let's go into mortgage rates. So just an update in the last few weeks, there's definitely been a lot of changes and things going on with tariffs. And I don't want to say people are kind of slowing down to see what's happening, but it's still always a great time to buy. But we are a tad bit on the higher end than we were the last 3 months. We're a tad bit over 7% on a conventional 30-year, and VA, FHA, we're looking at about a 6.5%. And those are just national averages. Based on credit, debt to income, things can change, but that's kind of what we're looking at right now. So not a ton of movement, but of course we always want to move down. So we're hoping in the next few weeks things settle down a little bit more and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And some tips on loans.
Absolutely. So this week I want to bring you just some education on things that are really important if you're self-employed and looking to get a loan.
Okay.
Yep, so when you're W-2'd, it's very black and white. We look at your W-2s, but as a self-employed borrower that's looking to buy a loan or get a loan and purchase a home, there are some things that are really, really important. The biggest thing is you are considered a tad bit higher risk than someone who's W-2'd. We can look right at their pay stubs and it's pretty clear what they're making. So the biggest and most important thing is make sure you're keeping record of profit and loss statements, your taxes, make sure you're holding on to all of your taxes, especially for the last 2 years.
Yes.
You want to be really claiming what you're making if you're trying to get into a home.
Yeah, so taking those extra deductions does not really help you when you're purchasing.
Does not help when you're going to purchase. I've seen people doing so many deductions, it literally shows they're making almost nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So make sure if you're going to purchase a home in the near future, you talk to your tax advisor and let them know what your goals are before you have all these amazing deductions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then, of course, the more you come in with a down payment as a self-employed borrower, the better it is, just because it is looked at as a little bit higher risk loan. So the more you come in with, the better. You don't always need to come in or ever come in necessarily with 20%, especially on a primary. But the more you come in with, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So better down payment, and make sure that you're showing some really strong income to make sure that you can purchase.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't deduct everything, even though it's great for your pocket. It is not great when you're going to purchase a house.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that happen to people where
all the time.
Yeah, where it's like they have a good source of income coming on. They just really take advantage of all those deductions, which are legal and allowed.
Absolutely.
It's just it doesn't help you on showing income when you're purchasing a home.
Correct. So those are my 2 best tips, especially if you're self-employed and looking to purchase a home in the near future.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you so much for the tips.
Absolutely.
And Vegas, stick around because we're going to start busting some myths in our next segment. So we'll be right back.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Looking for a night out that's pure Vegas? Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, voted best comedy club in Las Vegas. Located at the Link Promenade, just steps from the High Roller, it's your ticket to big laughs from top comics handpicked by Jimmy Kimmel himself. No 2 shows are alike. Every night's a headliner, and every seat's a great one. Get your laughs at the best. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, only in Vegas, only at the Link.
Vegas. Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Welcome back. So we're going to be getting into the gossip in the real estate world, or myths as we call them.
Yes.
So there's a lot of stuff that circulates around out there that is just frankly not accurate. And we are going to talk about that and give you the real deal on what's going on.
The real truth.
The the reality check.
That's right.
The realty check on what's going on here. So let's start. This one's so common to me, and I still hear this. The funny thing about it is I hear it from even people that are very seasoned in real estate that buy a lot of, do a lot of buying and selling and everything. And it's a little bizarre to me that I'm like, do you still think that that's a thing? So you don't pass or fail a home inspection.
A lot of people do think that.
The inspection gets finished and they said, did we pass? And I'm like, there's no pass.
Are they sitting at home with their fingers crossed?
I know. and I have seen home inspection pages that are 10 pages long, and I've seen them that are 400 pages long. I guess the best rule of thumb is if you really are looking for a pass or fail, which there is no such thing, but if you are really looking for a good home inspection versus a bad home inspection, how many pages do you have there? Because if you have 400 pages, there is a laundry list of issues. So basically, a home inspector goes in, they do the inspection, they give you a list of all the items that are defective. They also, oftentimes, that's why even a good home inspection will still have, quite a few pages, because they also note things that are not defective, that are how to operate or where this is located, and pictures of a lot of different things. Very informational.
And the good thing is you'll find things that are in great condition as well.
Yes.
Which is what you hope for, right?
And don't let a home inspection scare you away, because I've been in home inspections on brand new homes. I mean, it just got built, the city came in
no one's lived in
signed off on all the stuff, everything's up to code, and we still have items. So it's not, having items on your home inspection is nothing to freak out over. It's just a matter of, is it something you need to address? Is it something that the seller is going to address, or that you want the seller to address?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's just, I've bought in a couple homes, bought in, I don't think that's a word, but I bought a couple homes where I had, I just say it's as is. Give me the list of what needs to be done, and maybe sometimes we'll ask for a credit for that, but I would like to oversee those repairs and make sure they're done the way I want them to be done. Or maybe I'm going to change something, but I still want that inspection to know what am I dealing with here?
Absolutely.
What items are they? It's kind of a to-do list.
And it's important too, because they're going to look at things that are expensive, like AC units and things that can cost thousands of dollars. So it's just absolutely in a buyer's best interest to get that done and know exactly what they're purchasing. Or sometimes I'm sure that might lead to someone not wanting to purchase.
And it does. There's times where, and I tell my sellers this, I warn them on that, because everyone's scared of the home inspection. And again, first question, what if we fail? You're not going to fail, but there might be something that you're unaware of that's a major costly item. And if it is something major that scares you, it's going to scare your buyers too.
Absolutely.
So just be aware that there may be things that we really have to address to keep the deal together. And there may not. A lot of it depends on your contract, your negotiations, how you came to the price where you're at. So sometimes there's a factor where the buyers are 100% in agreement that it's going to be as is. So it really depends on a lot of factors, but just bringing us back to the main question is, there's no pass or fail. Everything is up for negotiation.
Absolutely. And I cannot imagine even looking at purchasing a house without getting an inspection. I'm sure it happens.
It happens, but I think that's silly.
It's crazy.
It's silly, because while a home inspector, I've heard people say, home inspector's not going to find everything. They're not. They cannot, they can't pull back carpet or flooring and see what's underneath. They can't cut into walls. They can't do anything. It's an inspection of things at the time, and they run the mechanics. They check things that are visually noticeable, but it's going over everything with a fine-tooth comb and just seeing what issues may be there may be behind what they can see. So
Absolutely.
it's a very good thing to have, and absolutely recommend it on every purchase.
Absolutely. I would highly recommend that as well for so many reasons. If you're going into a new house, like a new home build, and you're having an inspection, what is your most common thing that you're seeing as far as an issue?
Oh, I've seen sometimes where there's outlets that don't work, just weren't wired correctly. Sometimes repairs or patches that weren't patched correctly. Usually it's
huge
nothing.
things, yeah.
Usually it's nothing major. Roof tiles are a lot of things that we see because they'll lay the roof, they'll put the tiles up there, and then they have people go up for different reasons to do different
Step and
things
break or
and
crack the
step or
tile.
crack the tiles. So. And those are things when you have that walkthrough with the builder, you don't see,
Yeah.
so those are things the inspector can check for. So it's usually on new construction, it's very minor, but it's still a necessary
Of course,
thing.
if you're buying a house, and especially if it's brand new, you want to make sure everything works perfect.
Yeah, because it's the builder's obligation to deliver a perfect home. And builders do cover a 1-year warranty on a purchase.
Absolutely.
So they will, a lot of times, people will even, and I think it's a good thing to do too. You have that 1 year where everything's covered, bumper to bumper, they call it, but everything in the house is covered. When you get to like that 9 month, that's a good time to hire a home inspection. Even some people don't do it in the beginning and do it later on, and that's still, I think that's still acceptable. But that time the home is settled, you've kind of lived in it, you've used stuff a little while.
Found probably things that you had no idea weren't working, or
right. And then you just do that. You hire that home inspection inspector, you get that report. The builder won't take a copy of your report, so you have to one by one submit these requests, but still, you have that where everything is fully covered and the house has been lived in, used, and things have been...
And it gives you peace of mind, too. And if something's wrong, it'll get fixed. So that's what you want. And a new build's a new build, so it should be as perfect as you possibly can get it. But inspection, very, very important.
Absolutely. Tell me one of your biggest myths, Courtney.
So I think one of the biggest ones is that you need really high credit to purchase a home. So in that case, I hear it all the time. Oh, my credit's not high enough. Oh, I'm not ready. My credit's not high enough. So ideally, when you're going to purchase a home, the higher the credit, of course, the easier situations are going to be as far as when we look at credit. Typically, we're not going to see a bunch of lates or disputes or things we have to deal with behind the scenes. However, you don't have to have an 800 credit score to get a loan. Is it great? Of course.
Yeah.
But ideally, right, the higher the credit, of course, it is better, more ideal. You're going to get a lower rate essentially. But, we deal with a bunch of people who are, buyers who are looking at homes and maybe their credit's around 600 or 620 or 630. So you can still purchase a home. Your rate might be a tad bit higher, but at least it's going towards something versus renting. So if you are looking to purchase, don't ever be scared or let credit deter you. Let me really look at your credit, and we can kind of go from there and decide what's best or what route we need to take, if any, to get your credit up so we can get you into a house.
And that's a good point, because there's so many times when I talk to people who know that their credit may not be where they think it needs to be, and they don't even want to talk to a lender or do a credit pool because, maybe they're fearful of the outcome.
Absolutely.
But doing that credit pool, you can, and I explain that to people many times, when you pull their credit, you can walk them through the steps they need to take to get on track. So that is a very important factor of it. Even if you don't think your credit's where it needs to be, you may be surprised and it is, or you can at least have a game plan of what to work towards.
And a lot of people will send me screenshots of like Credit Karma or, and I'm like, no. Listen, we don't have to do hard pull. 99% of the time, we're not going to do a hard pull unless we're ready to go under contract, or we are going under contract anyways. So it's so easy to do a soft pull. That way we can guide you as to where you need to be. So ideally, you really want your credit bare minimum over 580, because anything under 580, you're putting bare minimum at least 10% down, and that's really what most people want to avoid. But there are options. Let me at least take a peek, and we can do a soft check so we can look at and see what we need to do to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very helpful. Very good tip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My next one is very controversial, but it's we found out a lot about this over the last year, and that is buyer's agents are free. Over this last year, as many people know, we had this NAR settlement, this huge settlement that came out. And it was basically around buyer's agent representation and who pays for it. Buyer's agents have never been free.
You don't know.
I like people, but I am not a philanthropist.
Or a volunteer.
Or a volunteer. It is a lot of work that is put into representing a buyer, and we do get compensated. The difference is, and really it's no difference, it's just awareness. The sellers had commonly, and not always, commissions have always been negotiable, but the sellers have commonly voluntarily paid the buyer's agents in the past. Now, under new regulations, sellers, before there was a disclosure, or not a disclosure, it was on our multiple listing service of how much the seller was willing to pay the buyer's agent, if they were willing to pay anything. Again, it's always been negotiable. Even though there's people that thought different, it always has been negotiable. And so the buyer's agents wouldn't really have that conversation with their buyers about compensation, because they were already well aware of how much they would be compensated for each home.
Everything was put in there. And
everything was put in writing, so it was nothing they needed to discuss with the buyers. Now, under new regulations, we do have to have that discussion with the buyers that we do have compensation that is due. That compensation may be covered by the sellers if those terms are negotiated in the offer, which now there's a spot in the residential purchase agreement, which is the offer that you make to purchase the home, where you can ask the seller to cover your agent's representation fee. However, it's an item of negotiation. It's not guaranteed. We no longer have any notification on the multiple listing service of what the sellers will pay and how they will pay, or how much they're willing to pay. This is completely an item of negotiation. But don't let it make you fearful, because even if one seller were to say, no, they're not willing to cover your agent representation fee, and you don't have the funds to cover that, there will likely be other sellers that are open to it. So, it's just, again, an item of negotiation. Maybe negotiate some different terms, maybe do some different things, but frankly, buyer's representation has never been free.
Do you feel like anything's really changed?
Nothing has really changed. I can just tell you, again, this is no guarantee on commission amounts or representation of commission amounts or anything like that. Commissions are always negotiable. Commissions are negotiable. Commissions are negotiable.
But I think it was like a huge uproar for a while, but it kind of feels like now everyone just knows what it is, and
yeah, even though they are very much negotiable, again, which they just beat that into our head in real estate school, and every class we go to, it is in my head to always say that first. But the thing is, there are, out of all of the buyer's representation contracts that I've had since the settlement has happened, and I've done quite a bit of business since the settlement has happened, I would say 99% of them were covered by the seller. The seller had agreed to cover the compensation amount.
Absolutely.
And that little 1% was a thing where the seller and the buyer agreed, based on the terms, the price, and all of the things that we negotiated through the contract, to split the burden of the compensation. So
absolutely,
definitely there. Stay tuned, guys. I hope you love these myths, but we're going to be right back, so don't go anywhere.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Looking for a night out that's pure Vegas? Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, voted best comedy club in Las Vegas. Located at the Link Promenade, just steps from the High Roller, it's your ticket to big laughs from top comics, handpicked by Jimmy Kimmel himself. No two shows are alike. Every night's a headliner, and every seat's a great one. Get your laughs at the best. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. Only in Vegas. Only at the Link.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Hey Vegas, we hope you guys have enjoyed our show on Mythbusters, and we hope you learned some stuff about some big misconceptions out there in loans and real estate. So we will keep on bringing you these shows, and we will keep on bringing you guys content. We hope you're loving it. Courtney, we're so glad you're back. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Thank you. Glad you're back. And you have new contact information.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about it.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at Citywide Mortgage. If you want to email me, it's Courtney.Bohm, my last name at citywidehm.com. The easiest way to always reach me is call or text me anytime, 702-416-6918.
And if you guys want to get a hold of me, I can be reached at 702-308-2878. I'm Trish Williams. Follow us on realtycheck.vegas. That's where you can connect with us on socials and everything. And right here every week on Hey Vegas TV. See you next week.